And if you're in any kind of weather that is below 70 degrees. And if maybe you all have your velvety hot chocolate with you, I have mine with me. It's awesome. So happy to see you all. I think we're going to go ahead and get started, right? Laura, you ready?
Yes. Good morning, everybody. So good to see you guys. Happy Saturday morning. I love that you're all showing up for yourselves and learning how you can continue taking the next steps in your health and making yourself a priority. So today we're going to talk about healthy surroundings. This is a very big topic that sometimes, gets us a little stuck in our health journey. And so we get to look at just looking at life differently, right? That what we've been talking about the last several weeks is kind of seeing life through a different perspective. And that's what I hope that we get to show you. We've got this amazing life book here, and it's called Your Life Book for a reason. It's yours. I've got mine and you've got yours, and we've all got different, thoughts and belief systems and things that we've been taught our whole life. So the reason for this book and the reason it's so important to open it up is this is where your magic is going to come from for long-term health. Okay. And so healthy surroundings is a really big one. I know, for myself, in my culture, I'm Lebanese, and food was love, like love, love, love. And my mom would be offended if I didn't go up for like seconds and thirds. Does anybody else have a family like that? And she would always be like, come more, have more, have more. And I was like, okay, I loved it so much. And so it just became a habit, and so we all have that. Everybody has their own habits of what they grew up with. But as adults, we get to make the decision and ask ourselves, is this serving us still, or is it not? And I had to come to that realization that I can still love food and it can still mean love, but I can really have portion control. And if I'm on my 5-in-1 plan, I know that food's going to be there later. And right now I have to look at what's in front of me, and this is what's in front of me, right? And so what happens is that your goals have to be more important. And remember, we're talking about focusing on the dot. The dot needs to be your goals. And then later, so the dot's not going to be like, oh my gosh, what am I looking in front of me right now? Pizza or whatever it is, right? We have to understand that, like, if we're in a social gathering or if we are at our family and we're, making Christmas cookies and that's what we always do I have to eat 20 cookies, or can I realize that my goal is in front of me and that's what I want? So we're going to use some real life examples today, but I want to start off with this. It always begins with you, okay? Which means when we talk about taking personal responsibility and living above the line, I'm kind of wrapping up everything that we've been learning the last several weeks and bringing it to this, okay? So when we talk about living life above the line, which means responsible, we're going to ask ourselves, how am I showing up in these social situations, okay? In going to parties, going to restaurants, being around family members that are making their traditional meals, all of the things. So I always use this example of pretend you've got a mirror in front of you, okay? And if you're smiling in the mirror, what do you see back? You see a reflection of a smile. Okay. And if you're frowning in the mirror, what do you see? You see a reflection of a frown. This is the same thing that we are putting out into the world is coming back to us. Okay, so let's take radical responsibility for how we want the outcome to be. Okay, so if I want people to support me, I'm going to show up and say, thank you so much. This looks absolutely delicious. I'm on a special eating plan right now, and I'm so excited because I'm down like 10 pounds and I haven't been feeling so good in so long. This means the world to me. So I don't want to offend you in any way. But please, your support would mean the world to me. Okay? Smile. Guess what they're going to do? Lori, congratulations. I'm so excited for you. You go, girl. Of course, I'm going to support you. Do you see that? Now, let me show you the other option. I really, really wish I could have that, but I'm on a diet. Do you guys see that? What are they going to say? Lori, you look amazing. Are you kidding me? This glass of wine's not going to kill you. Just have it. Start over on Monday. It's no big deal. You're okay. It's okay. You look so beautiful, right? Do you understand what's happening? They're going to feel sorry for you. They're feeling sorry for you. Why? because you got a frown on your face and you're so sad. I'm so sad. I have to do this and I really, really want to have that, but I just can't. You guys see that? Okay, so it always begins with you creating your own experience, you taking radical responsibility for the life that you want to create. Does that make sense, guys? Awesome. So we always have to look inward first, because sometimes we want to point the finger and say, well, my mom's a food pusher. Okay, my girlfriends always want me to have a glass of wine. This. And guess what happens? I love this. When you're pointing the finger at one, how many more are pointing back at you? 3. Okay, so we take the personal responsibility for the outcome. We create our experience. We show up above the line. Okay, it's a game changer. I just want you to know that. Okay, so I'm going to bring on Tracy first. Tracy Akamini, when she first got started on her program, had a little situation with peanut butter. And so peanut butter was her thing. What's your thing? So let's think about that for a second as she jumps on and shares her story and then how she kind of pulled herself out of it.
All righty. Thanks, Lori. Yes. And peanut butter was, and it still is. It just didn't vanish. They still make peanut butter, and it still surprisingly makes its way to my house. So when I was on program, I was doing well, but back up and say I came into the program very ill and 57 pounds overweight and just in a bad place, and got jumped on program, was doing great. But at somewhere along my journey, I decided that when I was done eating, I kind of went back to my old habits of, I just want some peanut butter. Like, peanut butter, how many? Raise your hand if it's so satisfying to you. And it's just like, I thought it was better. I got some waivers out there. I get it. I feel your pain. It was like, instead of having the cookie, I thought, well, peanut butter's protein. How many of you have heard that, right? And so I was eating this peanut butter, and all of a sudden my results started to change. And so I called my coach and I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. And so they, she politely said, well, talk me through it. And I'm like, but I love that peanut butter. And she's like, well, then I can give you a different program and you can keep the peanut butter. I'm like, well, will I lose weight as fast? And she said, well, no, a different program will slow down the results. And I don't want to do that. I want to lose weight fast. Well, then stop eating the peanut butter. But I don't want to stop eating the peanut. You see the crazy cycle I was in? And so I just had to make another decision. And how many of you out there have been on the journey a bit, and it's like you're doing good and feeling great, and sometimes when we're out of that comfort, like the distress zone, and feeling a little better, we start to kind of either slip back or do some weird different habits. But finally, bottom line, I took radical responsibility. I simply moved the peanut butter. So that habit loop that I have of after going to dinner and opening the cabinet, when I went there the next time and it was gone, it distracted me. And I think I had a cup of tea, and that really helped me to stop eating the peanut butter. And like peanut butter is my thing. Maybe peanut butter means nothing to you, but everybody's got a thing, I'm sure. So what is that thing for you? And just let me encourage you that you can change it. You can take radical responsibility and flip the switch and move forward. Thank you for letting me share today, Lori. I
love it. It's super helpful. It's super helpful because everybody has their different thing. It could be a glass of wine, it could be cookies, it could be chips, but taking radical responsibility is what we do here. And we really need to start focusing on the life we want. I'm going to say it 100 times, guys, because we need to hear it 100 times. And we have to remind ourselves of it 100 times every single day. It's taking that stop, challenge, and choose, and we put ourselves in that place. And this applies to every goal that you have in life, because, we want to just live in that comfort zone of that's what we're used to and accustomed to. And it's almost like we're asking you to go pick yourself up of living in this place that's so comfortable to you and moving you onto a completely different planet. How comfortable would we all feel living on Mars? No, we would not feel comfortable at all. Like, everything is a new learned behavior. It's a new language. We got to do everything different, right? So we kind of have to look at the realization of that. And so not beating yourself up. And one of my favorite coaches, Sunny Kane's always like, we got to stop taking out the boxing gloves and beating ourselves up, because that's a habit that we're all accustomed to doing. And we have to start putting on our party hats, just like Rocio loves to do. And celebrate ourselves. Thank you for the party hat. Rocio has a party hat like right next to her desk. She usually has like one in every color. So look, she does. She's got a ton of party hats because she's learned to celebrate herself. And we got to have fun with this, you guys. Like, we can't be so serious or we're never going to accomplish what we want. So awesome, Tracy. Thank you. Okay, so Janine, talk to us a little bit about healthy community that you were surrounded in, and you made the decision to take radical responsibility to start looking at it a little bit differently.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Laurie. So I'm an ex-pro ballet dancer, you guys, and dancers and athletes and people that are doing like sort of extreme physical activity, there are some practices within those communities that like aren't usually so healthy. So for me, I was sort of entrenched in the professional dance world as someone with a syndrome called polycystic ovarian syndrome. So that makes me insulin resistant. And there's a lot of disordered, dysfunctional eating in the performing arts world. And, there's this goal to like, get into that costume, get that part at all costs to your health, right? So when my coach, Tracy, who I love dearly, oh my gosh, I feel like, we've been friends for a while, but then when she presented, this healthy community to me, it was really a game changer because I understood that I could have a goal outside of my professional dance world, but that I could merge the two worlds together. And that for me was such an aha moment to say, look, I can take care of myself and still be part of this healthy artistic community. And I can actually serve as an example to people around me, right? And so as a result, I have friends of mine now who are like involved in our healthy community that are treating their bodies better. They're still doing great within their own dance journey. But now it's a whole different mindset for me. So, thinking about where your community is and what your community is sort of teaching you, everybody has that sort of sticking point where, oh my gosh, like, can I help make this better? Or can this be better for me? And I didn't know because you don't know what you don't know, right? And when Tracy came to me and shared all of this information, it was a huge aha moment for me on self-care and on how important community is. So 3 years on, you guys, 40 pounds down, my pre-diabetes is reversed. My genetic gun was loaded. When you have that genetic history and you're looking down at your people and you're like, oh my gosh, you know what? It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way at all. So I jumped on this and it was awesome for me. And I am so happy to say that I'm healed from this.
I love it. I love it, Janine. Thank you so much for that example. So looking at your communities, sometimes that you are, affiliated with and who you spend the most time with, sometimes it's work, you guys. Sometimes when you're at work, I always hear this one the most is like, oh my gosh, they have this bowl of M&Ms. And every time I walk by there, I usually take, so it's like, you got to think about what are those things? How are they affecting you? And how are you going to take radical responsibility to not let the bowl of M&Ms stop you from getting to your goals, right? Just because they're there doesn't mean you have to have them. That's the old habit. So you create a different surrounding. You start saying, well, instead of walking this way where the bowl of M&Ms are, that's my habit. I'm going to go around a different cubicle and go walk that way because I know there's nothing there that's going to stop me from getting to my goals. Does that make sense? Radical responsibility is what's going to help you. So I'm going to say your new habit of the week is going to be, I take radical responsibility, and say it over and over and over. Because when we say that, we're not going into the victim, into the drama triangle. When we go into the drama triangle, it's like, I can't believe they have a bowl of M&Ms sitting right there and the lunchroom is filled with donuts and all the things. That's going into the drama triangle. They're not going to change, but you want to change. So you take the radical responsibility to create the life that you want. We don't live in the drama triangle anymore. It doesn't serve us. That's our old way of thinking. The new chapter of your book, which is your life book, which you're turning the page and recreating the life that you want, is saying, I'm the one in charge. Nobody's going to do it for me. When we say we are the dominant force in our life, what that means is I'm making the choice to get up out of bed, right? I'm making the choice to drink my water. Nobody's going to do that for you. I'm making the choice to fuel my body with nutrition every 2.5 to 3 hours. I'm making the choice to pull out, somebody keeps calling me. I'm making the choice to pull out my food scale, right? I'm making the choice when I'm invited to a social gathering that I'm going to offer to bring something that's going to serve me on plan instead of relying and going victim to thinking that, oh, they didn't have food that supported my goals. They're not going to ever. Okay. So you say, hey, can I bring a dish to share? Okay, you guys, this is you taking radical responsibility. Hopefully you're going to, I know I'm repeating myself for a reason, because this is it. This is the magic sauce you guys are all looking for to really help you move forward. Okay, so I'm going to bring on April Pitcairn. She's a social butterfly and part of every organization possible. She's invited to everything possible. She's always out and about, and I so admire that in her. And I wanted to bring her on because if I've met nobody that knows how to get through social gatherings like she does. She's a champ. So April, talk to us about when you first got started on program, your choices when you took radical responsibility as well.
Thank you, Lori. Yeah, I did. And, I belonged to a yacht club. I did a lot of social activities. And so drinking is also something, you guys, our society in America everything is surrounded with food and drink, everything. Super Bowl Sunday is coming up. What do you think Super Bowl Sunday is about? Oh yeah, there's a couple of football teams, but that's kind of a side note, right? So when you take radical responsibility, you write out your why. If you haven't written out your why, you need to write out your why. And it doesn't need to be a one-time thing. You can constantly add to it, constantly. Put that why on your refrigerator door. Put it on your mirror. Take a photo of it and keep it on your phone. And when you do go into the reason that some temptation, look at the why. And so what I did is I didn't want to be a hermit just because I was going on this plan. So I still wanted to be with everyone, but I put that smile on my face that Lori talked about at the very beginning. And when somebody offered me a drink, I just said, oh my gosh, thanks so much. Not right now. I'm really working on my health and I'd really appreciate your support. And when you say that to somebody, don't tell them you're on a diet. Diet's fighting words, that's going to put somebody in a tailspin. You just say, I'm working on my health. I would appreciate your support, and if they say no, then they're not your friend, right? Everybody is going to support you. So that's what I did. And I found that once I started doing the sparkling water on a regular basis, nobody even asked me anymore. They just forgot about it. Because it's not about me, it's about them. So make yourself first. You're taking care of you so that you can help take care of others in many cases. But if you don't put that oxygen mask on first, then what's going to happen? So anyway, hope that helped.
Super good. Super, super good. I love the sparkling water trick. It's, you put a little bit of an infuser in there and put a lime on they don't know. You're like, oh, can I get you a drink? Oh, I've got one. They don't care what you got in your glass. Okay. Like seriously, guys, they don't care. We think they care. We don't want to offend. Put a smile on your face, celebrate your victory, celebrate how far you've come and what you are doing, because this is the stuff that's going to change your life long term. These are the habits we're talking about. Implementing these habits and putting yourself as a priority is only going to serve everybody else around you that much more. When we feel our best, we are more capable to help and serve people and to, love on people and do all the things. Okay. So guys, we're gonna continue doing these. We're trying to find topics of the most frequently asked questions by our clients. Okay, these are the biggest obstacles that our clients are facing. So this is not taking away from our Monday night calls, because those are amazing, like amazing, and make that a rock in your calendar to listen to those. But what we're doing here is just a little bit of real talk that I feel like sometimes I have the same conversation over and over and over again with all my clients and all my coaches' clients, and we're all like trying to, and it's like, it helps you to realize we're all more alike than we are different. And these are the biggest obstacles that come our way. And what we say with Optavia is we embrace the obstacle as the way. I'm going to say it again. We embrace the obstacle as the way, which means this: the obstacles are not bad. The obstacles are good, because that takes us to the root of what's causing the problem. And then we have two choices. Are we going to run away from the obstacle and say, oh, here we go again, I'll start over on Monday, this is it? Or are we going to head right through that obstacle and charge through it and say, I am going to overcome this. This is my opportunity to prove to myself that I've got what it takes to do it. I'm going to go to this party. I'm going to go to Super Bowl party. Here's our challenge right now. Okay. Super Bowl, what are you going to do? Come up with your plan. Stop right now. Challenge yourself. Am I going to take something? If you're going to a party, take something that serves you. Go look in our Healthy Together group in the recipes, type in the topics lean and green. I'm going to tell you what, you're going to be blown away by our favorite. I know what I'm making, the buffalo chicken dip with the hot wing sauce. Every single time with celery and with cut up the little peppers. It's the best and everybody loves it. Guess what? Lean and green compliant, guys. Who knew, right? Who knew? Radical responsibility. Okay, you guys get to challenge yourself on this every single day and you just wait. I'm going to challenge you all. You just wait. You prove me wrong and say that I'm not going to get to my goals. You're going to get to your goals. I give you all that challenge to take radical responsibility this week. And I can't wait for you to connect with your coach and let them know what changes that you're starting to see in yourself, because living in the empowerment triangle feels amazing. So pull this book out this week, you guys. Seriously, it's not just there because it looks beautiful. It really is beautiful on your bookshelf, but it's more beautiful when you apply it towards your mind and you work it and it gets messy and you highlight it and you get into it again and again and again and again and again. This is not a book that's supposed to be done in 30 days. This is for an entire year. And then you start it over again, another year. Look at Suzanne. She's got a book and a notebook and she's got all the things. So let's enjoy this, you guys. We're going to try to keep these calls to 20 minutes because I know how busy everybody is. And I want you to be able to maybe listen and re-listen again as much as you need it, because you're going to need to do that. This is not an overnight switch. This is something that's going to take time. So love you guys so much. Have a wonderful week. And I'm excited. I don't know what we're talking about next week, but it's going to be good. So come back. All right. Love you guys. Thank you to Tracy, Janine, and April. Have a good day, everyone.